So, I always like to ask this, why do you knit?
I knit because I can't sit still. I think that's really how I got into it, and also just as a creative outlet.
Uh-huh.
When I was younger, before college, I did a lot of sewing. I did costuming and formal wear.
Okay.
And that was how I kind of got my creative juices flowing. But then when I went to college, I didn't have room in my tiny little apartment, for
A big,
sewing machines and tables and dress forms and yards of fabric and all that. And
right.
so knitting became much more convenient for me. And I could carry it around, work on projects between classes when I was on campus, all those sorts of
Yeah.
things. So that's kind of how I got into it. But I think what really kept me with it is just the ability to create so many different things.
Yeah.
You can do everything from garments, clothing, but also all sorts of fun other things like toys or home accessories or just about anything you can think of, you can create using either knitting or crocheting.
Right. So that's cool. Yeah, I like that answer. Good answer. So who taught you how to knit?
My mom did.
Your mom did.
And I knit in a really weird way. People always stare at me when I knit in public because I knit, it's kind of continental, but kind of not. And I think it's because my mom taught me when I was really little, but she had learned from some woman on a boat. She lived in Germany for a while with her. She was an army brat, and they were stationed in Germany. Well, on their way home to the States, they took this boat across the ocean, I guess. And there was this old lady on the boat, and nothing for my mom to do. She was a little kid, and so this lady taught her how to knit. And I
Oh,
guess
okay.
taught her continental, but then in my mom, trying to remember how to do this and years later, and then teaching me finally, it changed a little.
Yeah.
Kind of continental, but not really. It works.
Yeah, well, if you get the same thing, it doesn't matter how you
Yeah,
got there.
teachers are fine. But the only people who knit quite like that are people in our kind of like lineage of knitters. My mom, myself, and now whoever I taught to knit. Like my husband knits our way.
Oh, how cool. That's great. So, what's on your needles right now?
Well, I'm actually in the middle of a crochet project, so just
Okay.
just the one needle.
Mm-hmm.
But we are starting a crochet block of the month club, which
Cool.
I'm really excited about because I really want a kind of that scrappy, comfortable crochet block blanket just to wrap up on the couch. And it's
Uh-huh.
something I've been wanting for years and never actually kind of had the time or motivation or justification or something to do. And so now we've got this club we're going to do. It's starting in January. You can sign up for just a couple months or sign up for a year, or we'll just keep on going, I guess.
Yeah.
And you get a pattern for an 8-inch crochet block, and then you get the yarn to go with it and everything to make two blocks.
Cool.
And so eventually, you'll be able to try all these different unique sheep yarns and colors and, work on your crochet skills. And so I'm working on my January block right now to get
So
that
is
done.
so is that something that a beginner could do as well?
Yeah, it's actually pretty basic. I'm not a very advanced crocheter, which is kind of why I'm really excited that we're doing this club because I'm really looking forward to kind of improving my crochet skills.
Yeah.
Um, you need to know some of the basics, just like,
Hmm.
how to do a chain, how to do a single crochet, double crochet, maybe a half double crochet. But anything that's more complicated than that, we give the instructions on how to do that stitch.
That's
So
wonderful.
there's like a cluster type stitch, in the block. We'll give you the instructions on how to do
How to
that,
do the
and we'll be
stitch.
working along as a group. So,
So if
you
there's
know,
questions, you can ask away and people will help you out.
exactly. The
Awesome.
designer, she goes by Mo Crochet, Melinda, on Ravelry, and she'll be involved. We'll have the Ravelry group, and she'll be involved in answering questions, and we'll all be helping each other. So it'll be a great way for people with just kind of those basic crochet skills who
Uh-huh.
want to learn a little bit more.
Yeah. Sounds like something I should do.
Absolutely. I think any knitter should give it a try
Should
because
have a
even if
little bit
you're
of
just
crochet under their belt. Yeah.
right, because even if you're just using it for, embellishing your knitted
Uh-huh.
items or
Yeah.
whatever, it's a great skill to have.
It is, yeah. That's very true. I agree. So, on a bad note, what's been your worst knitting disaster?
My first real sweater, the first sweater I actually finished, I made it for my mom.
Uh-huh.
It was a Christmas gift first of all, it was one of those Christmas gifts that I wrapped up with the needles still in it, you know? She opened up the box and it wasn't done, it was still on the needles.
That's funny.
Being a knitter herself, she understood.
Yeah.
So she gave it back to me and I did finish it. Only once I had it finished, I realized I did the sleeves on a different size needle
Oh,
than the body. On one
so it
size
wasn't
larger.
working. Yeah. Oh no.
So they're kind of puffy.
Were
I
they
mean,
were the sleeves bigger or smaller?
the sleeves were bigger.
Oh, so it was like a puff sleeve.
Sort of, but it didn't go with the style of cardigan at all. It was like this really kind of earthy green and no, it
Didn't
didn't.
work out.
But she's so sweet. She wears it.
Well, it's your mom. She's got to
Yeah,
wear it.
this is
You
my
know?
mom, so she's got to. But she was
Yeah.
a real good sport about it. And she's like, oh no, I just think it, adds to the style.
What a good sport your mom is.
She is.
So last but not least, if you were to be drinking a cocktail while reading my blog, what would it be?
Probably a Cosmo, just because that's my usual go-to. I tend to get really drunk really fast and embarrass myself. So I like Cosmos because I can order them virgin and they look the same.
And
They're
they look
just
the same.
pretty.
No one can tell.
A little bit of cranberry juice and some ginger ale or something, and you got a beautiful Cosmo that doesn't make me embarrass myself. So I can space them out that way.
That's funny. All right, Laura, so why don't we tell the viewers or the followers what they have a chance to win this
good.
week? One winner will have a chance, and I'll let you tell, and I'll hold it up. So you go ahead and talk about it.
Well, this is one of our gradient sock sets. You'll see it has the 4 little skeins there, and it's 100 grams, so it's enough for a pair of socks or a scarf or even one of those little shawlettes that are so popular. Any sort of kind of small project like that. And like the socks I was showing earlier, this is kind of what your result is going to look like, obviously, though, in those colors.
You sent
And
over a more like subtle color. It's more like oranges and these beautiful yellows and earthy greens and stuff. So it's very good.
Yeah, that's our November colorway is what it's called.
Okay.
And really reminds me of, the colors of the leaves around that time of year.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully that'll keep someone's toes nice and warm.
Nice and warm,
And we've got free patterns that go with it too that I'll include with the yarn, but also for anyone else who's interested, we've got them on our website. We've got the free, just kind of basic gradient sock patterns there.
And we'll link to those. So yeah, very cool. So Laura, thank you so much for being here and visiting us.
You.
Say hi to your partner as well, your partner in crime. Tell her
I will. She's, I'll be
your
talking to her in just a few minutes to ask her, how did I do? I didn't embarrass us, did I?
You didn't embarrass Unique Sheep, so so that's good. Okay, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Bye.
Ooh, yeah. It's recording. See the fish in the background?
I have a book. What is it? It is a book. I give you a pencil. Is it a pencil? Yes.